What's going on? Good morning. Shame TV East Watch. You're his host. Trekking this morning. I'm gonna let everybody their way in, and then we'll go in a little bit this morning. I wanted to go live so bad last night, but I just couldn't. By the time I actually got my shit together to do it, it was like 1:20 in the morning. So I was like, fuck it. I gotta hit the store real quick. And Friday morning, my fucking transmission went out in my Tahoe. So I did some shit with this one mechanic to try to save it, to see if it was just slipping. So I'm gonna just buy another one Wednesday. Fuck it. But anyway, and that's a blessing, you know. Things like that really sometimes crush people, but it was one of the reasons why I decided to move where I'm at now for the money purposes. So when things like that happen, I could just, who cares? I'll just get another one type shit. You know what I mean? And that's how it is. Wonderful life so far. But I want everybody to come in because I don't want you guys to think that I haven't heard what the fuck has been going on in these YouTube streets. I have been hearing, fully aware of Polight's return. You have more and more people who I call HOK affiliates coming out and making sure they distance themselves from Polight. This is something that if you go back like a year or so into some of my videos, I was telling you guys this shit, like, yo, more and more, eventually, more and more, more and more, you're gonna see people who are around him begin to distance themselves from him. Even the people who publicly distance themselves from him and still privately and secretly be trying to fuck with him, those people are gonna just put their foot down and not fuck with him, period, anymore. And you can't continue to deal with him. You can't continue to big him up and act like you promoting him and acting like you're saluting what he's doing, because at the end of the day, everything attached to Polight is fuckery. So I told you guys maybe a couple months ago, this lovely young woman I went out to dinner with, we were just talking, having a conversation, and so she asked me, she said, well, are you aware of this brother named Brother Polight? And if I could have recorded my look when she asked me that shit, like, I was like, dog, you have no idea the animal that is Polight, you know? Like, cause she was like, I played it off kind of at first, like, yeah, dark-skinned dude always talking about saying some smart shit, and she's like, yeah, he's very this. I was like, he's a fucking scam artist. He says smart shit to lure people like you in. He says smart shit to get educated brothers and sisters to be on his team. Because most educated brothers and sisters do something called work. You know, most educated brothers and sisters know that they must survive. So one of the main things they do out here in these streets is work so that they can survive. So that's what he needs. He needs working class people so that he can eat off their fucking livelihood. Because that's what him and them black ass skeezers that he fuck with, that's what they do. Because he a skeezer and they are fucking skeezers. Every last one of them. But the point of all this is, you guys see the title of the video as I'm waiting for my store to open so I could get me some rollies. You seen the title of the video. We got Polight. We have Ikeisha, one Ikeisha Shabazz. And then we have this legacy. Now, in my opinion, everything that goes on from here on out is going to start affecting what I call legacy. Meaning, you live your life to a certain point. A man and a woman live their lives to a certain point. And then at some point, they have to start thinking about their legacy. Meaning, okay, I did what I did. I had my little fun on earth, my little carefree time or whatever. Now I'm starting to think about legacy. When am I going to leave here? When I'm gone and people come back and look back on this, what are they going to say? Are they going to say, you know what, dog? He was a piece of shit, or he was a good guy, or she was a good girl, or she was, that woman right there was very classy, or she was a strong sister who was upright and is a model of what black women should be, or he was a strong brother, and though he fell from time to time, he still showed moxie and toughness to, you know, to do the right thing and to stand on his own 2 feet and whatever. If you're in business, you got barbershops. You don't want one barbershop. You want at least 5. So you have something called legacy, something that you can leave to your children, etc., etc. So when you start looking back at all the shit that's been going on YouTube, this nigga is fucking, yo, Sonetta, your legacy is fucked, G. Your legacy is fucked. And I understand that about the attorneys working for the courts. We'll get on that in a second. And that ain't even up Ikeisha today. That's not even why I brought her up, because it's unreal that you are an attorney named Ikeisha Shabazz, but yet you an attorney. Like, this just makes no fucking sense to me. Like, how the fuck are you? Because attorneys do work for the court first. You're loyal to the court first. You're loyal to the court first. And the court is not an entity all of its own. The court is what? The court is a group of fucking Europeans who run business on everybody else on the planet, black, white, whoever, but mainly us. So they're just running business on you. They're just fucking... Human slavery is what it is. Okay? And the courts are the number one... pushers of that slavery. They're the number one actors in this movie. But we'll get on that in another subject. The point is, Ikeisha Shabazz did a video about a week ago, I think it is now. Almost a week anyway. And she did this video talking about Brother Polight. How he's a scam artist, how he just ripped and raped 70 racks from a nigga who just got inheritance or whatever he got from his family. Once again, black people who get their hands on money, who love black people and want to see black people on top, taking their money and investing, which is what I keep saying. This is why I do what I do, because I don't want to hear no shit about there ain't no unity amongst black people. Yes, there is. The problem is the people in the forefront who are screaming unity could care 2 fucking left squirrel nuts about unity. All they want is the attention so that they could grab money from niggas. That's it. And then when you have niggas like that in the forefront who are doing stupid shit like that, okay, and they're doing it and they're getting away with it. So when you have niggas doing shit like that, what you create is a situation where there will be no unity. You're creating a situation where no one is going to fuck with anybody because they're going to automatically assume them niggas are scam artists. It's straight like that. Nobody's going to want to do anything with anyone. Then you hear the sister, and the reason why I even brought up the HOK and their legacy in all of this is because when you actually hear her talking, you can hear her fucking bringing up Sonetta and talking about him, how he knows. Like, this is another person who is fucking coming out the woodwork saying what I was saying a year ago. saying what Triple C was saying a year ago about Sarnetta. Saying what everyone who fucking started exposing this House of Consciousness bullshit for what it was, we all started saying the same fucking shit. And then eventually Sarnetta had to come out and admit it. Now what are we doing now? We got more and more HOK flunkies, all these motherfuckers starting to come out and run their mouth about Polight. But the point I don't want any of y'all to forget, nobody can forget, is that behind all of this, who's still lurking? Whose name is still being brought up in shit? Who's still lurking in all this shit? Of course Sarnetta, because that's what he does. He's behind everything. You're the reason that Polight is who he is. You're the reason that Polight got to where he is. You're the reason why he stayed where he got. It's very windy. It is windy out here, but it feels so good. It's like 50 something. I want to say like 50 degrees. It's fucking beautiful. We tried, told you. I'm waiting for my store to open, for the open sign to pop on so I can go grab my rollies. But this is crazy, man. Like, nobody fucking gets it, dog. Nobody understands that what we've been telling you is that if you do not remove these niggas from the forefront, yo, there will be no unity. Like, as long as niggas like these keep getting up here, as long as these niggas keep rising to the top, as long as these niggas keep being the niggas that's seen and the niggas that's looked at as the vocal ones, the what do they call it, the mouthpiece for the movement and this, that, and the third, nigga, we ain't going nowhere because all these niggas care about is money. Sarnetta even came out and fucking told you, his wife said she don't give a fuck about nobody getting scammed as long as he bring money home. Like, what kind of shit is that for? If this nigga calls himself the godfather of consciousness, which would make her one of the first ladies of consciousness if we were to believe all that shit, what the fuck, how the fuck does that sound coming out her mouth? Like, as a woman, like as the wife of Sarnetta, you should be one of the most compassionate queens out here. You should be one of the ones making sure shit stay on the up and up, making sure your husband's reputation and legacy stays intact and is solid. Nah, what does she say? She don't give a fuck about nobody getting played, which means the dude who just lost 70 racks, she don't give a fuck about that as long as Sarnetta gets a piece of that and brings some of that home. Like, that's how these niggas roll, yo. That's how these niggas maneuver around here, dogs. Like, that's how they are. So now you got Ikeisha Shabazz, who's coming out saying all these things about Polight. The only thing I have to say to Miss Shabazz is this. You mean to tell me, dog, sister, you didn't know that this nigga was full of shit? You mean to tell me, as an attorney, all the information you heard, positive and then negative, you didn't take the negative and apply it to Polight and start to see how this nigga moves, how he does shit, how the people that are accusing him of shit are genuine and not lying and not making shit up. You didn't sit there and take none of that into accord? You didn't take any of that into accord? You mean to tell me you got this big, brilliant attorney mind, but that shit didn't bring you to deduce the fact that this nigga's a piece of fucking scam and shit? You couldn't see that shit? You couldn't see that shit? So, man, where somebody's exposing her, when the video she did, I saluted that she did it. Peace to you. I salute that you made the video because it needed to be made. Now, just because I did that don't mean that you get to be removed from your guilt from the whole situation. Meaning, so you mean to tell me you just found out this nigga was full of shit? Stop playing, dogs. Stop playing, yo. Like, that's what I mean when I say that these niggas is full of shit. It's one thing for me to look at this shit and assume that you're genuine and say, you know what, maybe you did just find out. Then it's another thing for me to start saying, you know what, a fucking 10-year-old nigga was full of shit some way, somehow. How the fuck come you didn't realize this shit? And you a fucking lawyer. It's your job to realize shit like this. It's your to find out this shit. It's your job. You go to work every day to find out who's full of shit and who's not. You mean to tell me this fucking lying scam artist with a goddamn 10-mile trail of shit and evidence of his shit behind him, you mean to tell me you couldn't find that shit out? You mean to tell me it took you a year or so to realize that Amunet was scamming niggas when we put out videos a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now to the date, that Amunet was scamming niggas with Polight? Was one of the main tools that he used to scam people? Really? Really, dog? Like, come on, Ikeisha. Come on, Keisha. Come on now, stop it. You know goddamn well that you didn't just realize that shit. You know goddamn well that you didn't just hear that shit. So all I'm saying to you is, yo, we appreciate it. We appreciate what you're saying. But all this FBI talk and all this, you gonna do this, you gonna do that, man, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit, man. Niggas been saying that shit about Polight. And just like you said before, how you prefaced it and how you hedged your bet and said that you're gonna come out and expose them and talk about the feds and this and the third, but you talk about how the relationship that you have with them and have a relationship with them. Why would you hope you still have a relationship with a nigga who's proven to be nothing but a fucking liar? Yo, this nigga Polight came much that these people were asking him, telling him to give this dude his money back. Exactly, but you still love Sarnetta. What up, Snap? But you still love Sarnetta. In your own words, you still love Sarnetta, the same fucking individual who fucking perpetrates all this shit, who does what Polight does on a routine basis. In his own way. But you still fuck with this nigga. You still say you're with these guys. Like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you niggas? Why? Why the fuck do you have to be so fucking lame and retarded, dog? Why you can't just be Ikeisha Shabazz, sister attorney, pushing her own joint, her own page, her own agenda? Why do y'all always have to attach yourself with this fuck shit, yo? This shit is crazy, man. And then, like I said, this nigga Polight, man. Like Polight, man, the jig been up 2 years ago. You're not rich. We know you're not rich, dog. Like, that's another person who's come out and said the same thing that I've been saying. And am I close to this nigga Polight? No, I'm not close to Polight. I don't hang with Polight. I don't know where he lives. I don't go out with him, this, that, and the third. But I watch the way he moves from all the shit he does on YouTube. And I said, yo, that nigga is a pretender. I be around motherfuckers with bread, dog, with real money, who make $500,000 or better a year money. We go out to places, we go out to bars. I see how these people tip people, etc., etc. Dogs, I see how they live, how they move, how they buy shit, how they don't buy shit, etc. Dog, you're full of shit. You don't have no bread. You like a nigga that's fronting. You like a nigga with a credit card that got somebody's credit card and fronting with it. That's how you move. I'm just being honest from being around people who own their own homes, $400,000 homes and shit. I'm sorry, dog, the way you move, my nigga, you don't move like these people. These people have real bread and you don't move like that. So that's what it is. She says she's a crisis actor. Hey, yo, she says, Tiff, you said she a crisis actor. Stop it, yo. Yo, the crazy part about this shit is this, though, man. At the end of the day, man, here we are in 2018, all right? We're going to the end of 2018. We're nearing the end of 2018. And this whole shit with Polight, as far as exposing him, started when? In 2016. All right, is when this shit started. 2016, everybody, well, for me personally, you know what I'm saying, started exposing this dude. And so here we are, and like I keep saying, it's almost to the date. You know what I'm saying? If in another another 3 weeks or 2 weeks, it'll be started doing videos about Sarnetta and Polight, exposing the fuckery that I've seen and started to uncover. And nothing's changed in those 2 years. In those 2 years, Polight has done the same exact shit he's been doing, except now he's excuse me, he's a little more bottled up. He can't move like he used to. And at the same time, Sarnetta has done absolutely nothing. And I have to remove the stain that Polight has put on him, his pay, and everybody around him. Which means to tell me that, nigga, You don't give a fuck about how this shit look because all you need. The reason why you didn't want to shit on Polight and keep Polight totally away is because you want money. You know that Polight is a good scammer. So being that Polight is a good scammer, you want to keep this nigga around some way, somehow. So that way, what? That way, when some shit go down and you could put your input in and give a little help with the scam, that means you scrape a little couple dollars off the scam too. So that's why you keep that nigga around, and that's why you try to stay in his good graces, because he's a good fucking fraud and a good fucking scammer. Shame TV East Watch, yo. Yo, man. Y'all have no idea how much fun it is to go live with y'all. How much, yo, like, it's fucking crazy. But we're gonna do more of it so that y'all know that, and like, this is how it's gonna be. I mean, just talking about the legacy, man. Sarnetta, your legacy is fucking toasted, yo. That shit is burnt, man. That shit is done, dog. Like, by the time I'm done with you, man, the whole fucking YouTube gonna know that you full of shit. Like, in the same way that I've been doing, I'm going to take what you motherfuckers say and do, because I don't need to make shit up. I don't need to come in here and say, oh, Sarnetta, this, that. I don't need to do none of that shit. I don't need to say people around Sarnetta, this, that, and the third, making shit up. Nigga, all I gotta do is just take their own words. Like, I'll take her exact words were that Polight is a fucking scam artist, and you knew all about that shit. Okay? She even said she was staying silent. Why were you staying silent? What was the purpose of staying silent? There was no purpose of staying silent, except that Sarnetta asked her to stay silent about this shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, all you niggas do is fucking lie, steal. I feel sorry for New York, because New York looked at as fucking liars and niggas who's full of shit. Everybody that hear nigga that's from New York talking consciousness, talking about building with black people, this, that, and the third, as soon as they hear that fucking New York accent, they're gonna think scam artist, lying piece of shit. Because niggas like you. It ain't Cal heading the fraud division, the fraud charges on YouTube. It ain't Texas niggas. It ain't niggas from fucking Georgia. It ain't niggas from Boston. It ain't niggas from Chicago. It ain't niggas from motherfucking Florida. It ain't niggas from the Carolinas and all that shit. It's you niggas in New York. It's New York niggas. And the crazy part about it is, it's so many real fucking down fucking just about that life ass New York niggas that it's embarrassing that these niggas is doing this shit and making it look like this. It's embarrassing. It's fucking humiliating. It's fucking embarrassing, dog. Because New York is a place where it's like a mecca, dog, for consciousness. It's like one of the hubs of consciousness in America, period. And then you got these fucking clown ass niggas that's in charge of shit, that's running shit, that's spearheading shit. Polight. Yo, how many times does Polight have to take pictures in different cars for you to realize that Floyd Mayweather doesn't take as many pictures in as many cars? You know, that nigga don't have no money, dog. The shit is done so that you give him money. He even told you that shit a while ago. The only way that I could get attention from my people is to dress like this and buy and show them these things. That's it. He's showing you these things, stupid ass, so that you believe that he has it. Why would a nigga who already got $1 million money on YouTube with his page monetized? Explain that to me. Shame TV East Yards, yo. Let me get ready to go. Nikki Justice, my nigga Wax, DZ, Oak, Tip, Cliff, Triple C, Snap, everybody that came through. Yo, my phone's about to die and I gotta run in this store. So I'm gonna holler at y'all in a little bit. Yo, Polight, man, get your life together, man. The fuck wrong with you, my G?